There's all these arguments over tariffs. Mark Cuban, no, it's a horrible, it's the worst thing, you should never do it. Trump, my favorite word in the dictionary is tariffs. Everybody's talking about trade deficits, trade surplus. How the hell does this thing work out? I'm going to explain to you tariffs in a way that you can explain to anybody moving forward. You ready? Let's just say I am an accountant and I need referrals. I want you to give me clients because I need to grow my business. Let's say you sell auto insurance and we meet each other. We're friends. We're networking at a local Chamber of Commerce event. We say, hey man, you give me one referral, I'll give you a referral. You want to kind of share some clients together? Let's do it. No problem. So all of a sudden, a month later, I've given you 5 referrals. You've given me 0. I have a referral deficit of -5. You have a referral surplus of +5. Trade deficit, trade surplus. You get the idea? Now, think about it if a year later, 5 years later, you and I are giving referrals to each other. I sit down and I look at the numbers and I said, wait a minute, Johnny, I've given you 1,100 more referrals than you've given to me. Do I look like a dummy to you? Why do I keep giving you referrals and you give me nothing in return? You're like, I take care of your clients when you send them my way. What's wrong with that? I show them, like, I want to make some commission. I'm not making any money on this deal. It doesn't matter. I'm taking care of your clients. That's exactly the relationship between U.S. and China. So you may be saying, Pat, why 1,100 referrals? What's the big deal? Here's what the trade deficit of U.S. with all the other countries worldwide is. If each referral equaled $1 billion, our trade deficit is 1.1 trillion against the rest of the world. We've given the rest of the world $1.1 trillion of business more than they've given us. What the hell are we doing in America? Is this what it is? And we just give everybody business? And by the way, guess what country in the world has the highest trade surplus? Who has taken more referrals than anybody else in the world? What country do you think that is? It's China. Do you know how much more? 823 billion more than they've given to everybody else. You know what China is saying? Hey, don't tell anybody, man. They keep sending us business and we don't need to send. They're not saying shit to us. Keep taking the money, and boom. Oh shit, this guy got elected. His name is Trump. This guy's problematic. He doesn't like this stuff. What do we do? Release a virus, do this, what do we do with all this stuff? Let's shut down the entire world so this guy doesn't get reelected. Oh my God, thank God all these other guys show up. What do we do with these guys now? That's the whole concept of tariffs, trade surplus, trade deficit, and why it's becoming a topic of discussion where Mark Cuban is reacting to it, Trump is reacting to it, and everybody else in business wants to really get to the bottom of it. If you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's take a look at the countries in the world that are leading in trade surplus and trade deficit. Let's first look at trade deficit to see who's doing a good job and who's not. If you look at deficit, I already told you who's at the top, which is us, but then look who's next after us. You'll see next is UK with 270 billion. They give referrals out more than they receive. Then it's India at 240. Then it's France, Turkey, Hong Kong, Japan, Philippines, Spain, Egypt, Greece. All of these guys are not having anybody buy more from them. They're buying more from others than they're selling themselves. Look at the ones that have the leaders in trade surplus. If you notice this, China's obviously at the top. Who's second? Germany. 225. Quietly, they're selling 225 more. No one's talking about Germany. 225. Russia. 120, Saudi Arabia, 111, Netherlands, Brazil, Australia, Norway, Taiwan, Qatar. You see the rest of the names there? So imagine you're the CEO of this company called United States of America, and somebody is getting more referrals and more business from you than you're giving to them. You think that's okay? Should you not go renegotiate old contracts? It's like a lot of companies. When you go to a company, you're like, who negotiated these contracts? Tariffs and sanctions are all about negotiations. And if you don't have any leverage, you cannot negotiate. If you got any questions you want to ask me on negotiations, we created the app Minnect so you can have access to someone like me and ask me any question you want. That is the only place where I give back to people 100% of the time in audio recording. Download the app, ask me any questions you may have, and we'll go from there. So I have a list of every single one of the deals that we've ever negotiated and who was the president when we negotiated, and because he gets up there and says, who the hell negotiated all this stuff? Either these guys were dumb, he calls them stupid, or they got paid or something happened to them. Why would you negotiate all these deals that hurts America and hurts everybody else? Good question to be asking, no? However, I'm going to throw you a curveball. You may say, Pat, where are you going with this? This guy who wrote this book called Wealth of Nations, his name is Adam Smith, one of the greatest economists of all time, was not a fan of tariffs. So why would you put tariffs? Best part is free trade. Let everybody compete, because back in the days, tariffs are not a new thing. They've been around for a long time. Tariffs were used during the Roman Empire, a form of taxes on imported goods that were using during that time. And then later on in 16th, 18th century, that we used as mercantilism, which was tariffs being used as a prominent role in global economy during that era. European powers like Britain, France, Spain imposed tariffs and trade restrictions to protect their domestic economies and accumulate wealth. Meaning, hey, you're not buying from us? Tariffs. You're not buying from it? Tariffs. Wait a minute. What's wrong if I'm not buying from you? I'm selling you all this stuff. I know, but I want my businesses in my country to be selling stuff to you. So guess what? If I buy from you $1 billion, you buy from me $1 billion. But that's not how it works. It's how it should work. Why can't we do that? Germany, $220 billion. We buy you Mercedes, BMW, all this stuff. Yes. How about you buy some cars of Ford? How about you buy some cars of Chevrolet? How about you buy some cars that we have here? No. We're okay with our cars. Why are we buying your cars? I'm sorry. Why are we sending all this business to you? Buy some other products from us to match the $220 billion. No, that's not how this works. Bullshit. We're giving you the money. Guess what? You don't want to do that. Here's tariffs. That's the leverage a president has. However, when Adam Smith came out and he said, in order to have free trade, tariffs disrupts it. Let everybody go compete because it causes the price of goods to go lower, which he's not wrong. Like when Toyota came in here in 1958, sold the first Toyota, and in 1972, Toyota sold 1 million Toyotas in a year. It's like, oh my God, we have to find a way to lower the prices. Ford, we can't compete with these cars. They're cheaper, they're giving more miles per gallon. We got to make our cars better. So all these major companies in America that were like able to make all this money, oh man, this isn't a good thing. Why do we let Toyota come into America? Free trade. However, even Adam Smith says on 2 occasions we should use tariffs. Do you know what Adam Smith were the 2 occasions to use tariffs? Here's what he said. 1, defense of domestic industries essential to national security. And 2, counteracting tariffs imposed by other nations, creating a level playing field, which means what? You put tariffs on us, we put it on you. So why is this important? Because, hey, some of that is happening right now with China. Look what America did. So me, if I'm a president, if you're a president, shouldn't you use this as a way to find out defense against domestic industries essential to national security? China hurt us during COVID, did they not? Should we just sit around and keep letting them have a $823 billion national surplus? You know, when it comes down to trade surplus, when it comes down to all the money they're making, and we're at 1.1 trillion. By the way, as a president, as anybody in business, you have to know what areas you have leverage in when you're negotiating. The tools of sanctions that Trump used against Iran, or the tool of tariffs that Trump used against China, that is a weapon in your arsenal. If their weapon is stealing IP from us, everything America built, they stole. Everything that you use in America, they stole and did it there. This is documented all over the place. So you want me to keep letting them do that and pass us up, and America becomes number 2 country in the world? Why should we stop competing? Should that be okay? By the way, so you have tariffs, you have sanctions. Shouldn't the president of America be able to threaten some of their enemies that are bullying you and I, and you lose the jobs, and not say, if you don't do this, I'm going to put tariffs on you? 100%, 200%, 500%. What if he just has the power to put that threat out there? What is the purpose of the button? Not to use it, is to threat, right? What is the purpose of a strong military? Not to use it, but to scare the crap out of you so you don't attack. What is the purpose of a tariff and a sanction? To say, if you F with us, I'm going to use this tariff and sanction. You best not F with us and bring those jobs back to America. Are you willing to do that? Then let's talk. If not, we don't. By the way, steel industry. In the 40s and 50s, we were the ones running the world, steel industry. Employees left and right working in the steel industry. 700,000 people in America were working in the steel industry in the 50s. You know what that number is today? It's number 140. How the hell do we go from 700,000 people that take care of their wives and their kids to 140,000? You may say, I don't work in the steel industry. Who gives a shit? Go to Pittsburgh and see what they're doing. Hence, Pittsburgh Steelers. Whatever industry you're in, if it directly impacted you, would you not be upset about it? Imagine how upset they are. By the way, if I ask you right now, of the top 15 steel industry companies in the world, how many companies of ours are in the top 15? What would you say? 5? Would you say 10? 8? Where do you think we're ranked? You think one of our steel companies is in the top 3? We're probably number 1, right? Take a look at this list. Here's, as of 2022, top 15 crude steel producers worldwide. Number 1, guess where it's at? China. Number 2, Luxembourg. Number 3, China. Number 4, Japan. Number 5, China. Number 6, China. Number 7, South Korea. Number 8, China. Number 9, China. Number 10, India. Number 11, China. Number 12, China. Number 13, China. Number 14, Japan. Number 15, India. And guess who's number 16? US. We used to rule the world in steel. What happened? Oh, we gave the business out because it was cheaper. And we went from 700,000 hard-working Americans supporting their wives and their kids to 140,000. Go explain that to 560,000 people that were working in that industry, and now those jobs are in China. You know how many of the companies out of the top 15 are China? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 15 Are you competitive? Do you like to lose? I don't like to lose. Are you an American? Do you want your country to win, or do you want China to win when it comes down to this? Why? What happened to Andrew Carnegie's steel? What happened to us rocking it with this industry? Bad policies negotiated by weak negotiators helped China be 9 out of 15 worldwide. You want to know all the different negotiations happened and who the president was when this took place? I'll read them to you, and you go judge them, because it's not only one side, it's both sides. Ready? The USMCA, United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, happened in 94. You know who the president was? Bill Clinton. You know who went back and renegotiated it? A guy named Donald J. Trump. Next one. The United States-Korea Free Trade Agreement. You know who negotiated in 2012? Barack Obama. Okay. You know who renegotiated that? A guy named Donald J. Trump. The Central American Dominican Republic Free Trade Agreement. You know who negotiated that? Bush. You know if there's been any negotiations? No. This was 2006, 2009. Australia-U.S. Free Trade Agreement, 2005. No renegotiations. This was under Bush. U.S. trade agreement with Bahrain, 2006, under George W. Bush. No renegotiations. Chile-U.S. under President Bush, 2004. No new renegotiations. Colombia-U.S., 2012, Barack Obama. No new renegotiations. Israel-U.S. Free Trade Agreement under Reagan, 1985. No new renegotiations. Jordan-U.S. Free Trade, 2001, Bill Clinton. No new renegotiations. Morocco-U.S. Free Trade, 2006. Guess who was the president? George Bush. No new renegotiations. Oman-U.S. Free Trade Agreement, 2009, Bush. No new renegotiations. Panama-U.S., 2012, Obama. No new renegotiations. Peru, are you getting bored already? Peru-U.S., 2009, George W. Bush. No new renegotiations. Singapore-U.S., 04, Bush. What do you think? No new renegotiations. You think maybe there's an opportunity for a new person to get hired and said, hey, this is such and such colony on behalf of U.S. and the President of the United States. I'm flying out to you guys next week. We are no longer going this deal that we have, or else we're going to put a tariff on you. I have the breakdown here. Out of all the countries that we have surplus in, not deficit. You know how many countries it is? Argentina, 5 billion, barely any. Chile, 6 billion. Brazil, couple. Colombia, couple. Nigeria, 1, Egypt, 3, and a few others. Mexico, negative surplus. Canada, Ireland, China, India, Taiwan, Japan. I'm calling every one of these guys, and I'm going on the road to say, we are renegotiating these deals that everybody else did. You're not going to like it. If you don't want to renegotiate these deals and you buy stuff from us, you in America building this stuff, there's a tariff being put on you. This can either be a very easy conversation with you. It can be a very tough conversation with you. What would you like to do? I would like to come to your place. We have a great conversation. I'd like to try your food. I'd like to learn more about your culture. I'd like to walk away saying you're a country that we're going to do business with for decades to come. But if you think for a second we're going to continue this, things are going to be very rough for you and your economy the next 4 years. How would you like to approach this? No problem. We're on our way. My team will call your team. Let's book lunch and dinner. I need a full day with all your decision makers. We'll see you guys soon. That's tariffs. That's trade surplus. That's trade deficit. The next time somebody starts screaming off at the top of their lungs, oh my God, this isn't what we should be doing. Even Ray Dalio said in his books, as a society in a country gets bigger, you start hiring people on the outside, and that's what happens because you have all this money. You don't want to pay it internally because people are worth too much money. You can't afford it. Yeah, okay, that sounds all good. But guess what? We got to kind of bring it back over here. If we go the way we're going right now, we're paying all these guys, and the jobs are being taken away from you, your family, your loved ones, your friends. Do you want that? If you don't, go share the hell out of this video with other people so they can understand the concept of tariffs, trade deficits, and trade surplus. And if you got any questions, comment below. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, I got 2 other videos for you to watch on this topic, okay? If you're one of the crazy people that wants to actually understand it so you can have a educated conversation, I did a video on the Mexico tariff conversation with Hafusan that they're moving their plant from China to Mexico. You gotta watch this one. It's over here. And I did a video 7 years ago, U.S.-China trade war. If you've never seen it, click here to watch it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.